Okay guys, here we have a 2015 E-Class W212 E63 AMG V8 bi-turbo, and the problem is with the air suspension. As you can see, it gives a malfunction fault on the dash. Now we're going to plug it up on a diagnostic, see what it shows, run some tests and take it from there. Okay, so we've plugged in the diagnostics and I'm going to find it from the chassis. Adaptive damping system. Check for code, see what it shows us. You can see we've got the code C156C00. The compressed air distribution system is leaking, so something has failed, causing an air leak, or the pump isn't producing enough air for us to go ahead with it. So yeah, we're gonna go back, do a few active tests and see what we can find. Okay, so now we're underneath the vehicle. As you can see, this is where our pump is, along with the block valve. I'm gonna run a few live tests. We've took off the cover for it first and then see how things go. So we're gonna fill the left rear suspension strut, this side, and once we press F1, it should pump the air to lift up the left side of the vehicle. You heard that the pump just come on and off, so it seems like the pump isn't producing enough air. And as you can see from the values, that the pressure is at 2.06 bars and the value of the height is at minus 60 millimeters. Now we're going to do the same for the right rear of the vehicle, which is this side. I'm going to press F1 to fill the suspension struts. As you can hear, the pump just come on and off, and the pressure isn't going up either, but this side seems like it's a bit more lower. And when looking at it visually as well, we can tell that the driver's side rear is lower in comparison with the passenger rear. And I'm guessing the pump is closer to the passenger rear of the vehicle, so the air that it's producing is just about getting it to the passenger rear side, rather than whereas the driver's side rear is further out. So I'm going to do a few more live tests, run a few more data and see what we can find. Okay, after replacing the pump and tracing that there's no power coming to the plug, we traced the issue all the way to the fuse of the air suspension, which happens to be at the front SAM control module, and the fuse is here. You can see this 60 amp one. We can test it for you now. That's working. That one as well. This one, no continuity, as you can see. And don't ask us how we took the cover off for this one. Probably spent
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 solid clips. Spent 4 people, 15 minutes alone just to take off this cover. So it's not an easy challenge, as you can see. So now we're going to replace this fuse and then take it from there. Okay, as you can see, we've cut the plastic tab open from here and repaired, soldered the wire in between. We're testing them again. Yep, perfect, all good. Now we're going to close it up and put everything back together. Okay, so we've put the front SAM module back together. When you take this off, make sure you take a picture of which wire goes where. And this plug as well. It's got a cover here. You've got to remove the cover to get access to these. When trying to remove the SAM module, you'll have to remove the battery, because the SAM module sits right here and you're not getting any access into those bolts without removing the battery moving the SAM module here, taking off the cover and taking off as so. Make sure you take off the auxiliary battery as well, just in case. Now that we've put everything back together, we're gonna close up the cover, put it back into its place, put the cables that run into here, battery on, and then test it out. Okay, so as you can see, the front SAM module is back into its place. Everything wired up, bolted on. All we've got left to do is put the battery on, put the cover, close it up, and then as you can see, the back of the vehicle is sitting low and the pump is on. And after that, hopefully the vehicle should be good to go. Okay, we've got the pump up and running, as you can see. It's running perfectly fine now. As you can see, the vehicle is slowly rising. As you can see, it's raised now. Stop working. Perfect. Okay, now that everything's back in its place, pump is put back into its place, all the nuts have been tied up, the air line into its place, plugged in, pump's plugged in here, and now the vehicle should raise. As you can hear, the pump is running and the vehicle is rising. Now everything seems fine. We'll put the cover that comes here to there and take it for a test drive before we hand it over back to our customer.